Hello Scenesters, this is Movie Review Justin here with another Psychology in Movies video, and today we are talking about the concept of immaturity and using the 1988 film Big, starring Tom Hanks as our example. Here at Psychology in Movies, we take concepts in psychology and find movies as examples to help you understand these concepts more clearly. So let's talk about immaturity for a bit. We often hear the word immature thrown around in a lot of different scenarios. In normal everyday phrasing, it can mean somebody that laughs at dumb things, someone who is not very good at handling responsibilities. But in clinical psychology, when we refer to immaturity, it can also either mean someone who is not emotionally capable or ready to know what to do in certain scenarios, like when we say a person who is 12 years old is not mature enough to drive a car. But immaturity could also refer to someone with a poor response strategy to negative emotions, like fear or disappointment. And today, we want to talk about 5 types of immaturity as depicted in the movie Big. Let's get into it. And if you haven't already, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel to keep updated on more videos. It's free and easy and a great way to show your support. Now let's get into it. Number 1. Lack of inhibitions. We wanted to start this list off with one that wasn't that bad. When we're younger, we tend to have a lack of awareness and conscientiousness of our surroundings. This can cause us to either accidentally annoy people or even put us in harm's way. Although anyone of any age can be a thoughtless, unaware person, lacking inhibitions or not thinking things through can have bad consequences and is a sign of immaturity. Josh lacks inhibitions with his fun and exploratory nature, but you could also say side character Paul yelling at strangers or treating them rudely also shows a lack of inhibitions and thoughtlessness. Although we wanted to include on the positive side that sometimes lacking inhibitions also makes us less aware of judgment and criticism, and therefore allows us to be more natural, authentic, creative, and present in situations. Being present is when we aren't thinking about a million other things. We're just thinking about the task at hand and how much fun we're having. So lacking inhibition isn't always a bad thing. Number 2. Small-mindedness. Small-mindedness is when we make judgments about people or things without seeing the bigger picture. And it's not just Tom Hanks as Josh that we're talking about when we talk about this type of immaturity. The character Paul sees the main character Josh as a threat simply because of his talent and outspokenness. By doing that, he is not seeing the humanity in Josh or the bigger picture that Josh might make a good friend or ally, that he might improve the company or have other good qualities. It can be when we're jealous of somebody because they have something we want, when somebody looks for things not to like about somebody because they feel threatened or jealous, or looking for faults or ways to embarrass that person just so they can feel less threatened and better about themselves. But it's not always negative necessarily. Sometimes it can be the assumption that people have it so much better or easier because they are older, have more money, a bigger car or office, etc. Still, even though not every small-minded judgment is automatically mean or negative, it is still short-sighted and not judging a situation accurately. Number 3. Lack of priorities. This one kind of goes along with the last one. When we're not fully mature, we aren't really sure what's important to us. When we're little, we think having fun, staying up late, and partying with friends are our biggest priorities. But when we grow up and learn responsibility, which is how to manage yourself and others, we start having new priorities. But when we don't have good priorities as adults, and lack the ones that we actually need, this can look like consumerism, people-pleasing, chasing after material things like jobs, promotions, bigger offices, etc. And it can cause us to judge ourselves and others based off of a very skewed criteria. We have our whole lives to learn about what's important and what matters to us. So we don't want to get distracted chasing after things that won't help us or might even hurt us. That's why lacking healthy priorities is a sign of immaturity. Number 4. Uncertainty of what to say or do. Life is full of challenges, and sometimes people come along and know exactly what to say or do to lead us, but sometimes not. When we lack experience or emotional depth, we may not be able to sense when other people need encouragement, loving words, help, or various other things they may not know how to communicate or walk us through. Or we might start taking people for granted. Relationships are hard to navigate. Too much communication can lead to nagging or clinginess, or people tuning you out, whereas too little can make people feel alienated or be confusing. Sometimes, like in the first example, we can say or do the wrong thing by not thinking it fully through. When we are immature, we lack the knowledge of what to say or do, or when to say it, and we might miss opportunities or fail people when they really need us. It's certainly not malicious, but it can be very damaging to other people whenever they need our love and support, but our inexperience in taking others for granted causes us to be oblivious. It's not reasonable or possible to be able to fix everything for everyone, but knowing what to say when we know people need our reassurance is something only people that are mature can do. Number 5. Being too inhibited. This might be a little strange, especially considering how the first example was having low inhibitions. But did you know that being too inhibited is a sign of not having a childhood? Meaning that life was very serious with a lot of expectations placed on you from a very early age, robbing you of your ability to be playful and authentic. This can cause us to freeze in moments or be caught up in our own heads because we're so afraid of getting embarrassed or looking foolish instead of being present and in the moment. You would think that skipping straight to adulthood and being forced to have a serious childhood might make you more mature, but you can't skip steps of the human experience and be a complete individual. All humans need play, creativity, and confidence to do the things they were destined to do and be their true selves. But without those things, life can slip right past them. This has been Movie Review Justin, here at Psychology in Movies, reminding you that we're all on this journey of life together and all growing every day. What are some talents that you would like to develop during your lifetime? What are some new foods you would like to try? And what are some toys that you enjoy playing with? Write your answers below or in a journal, and like and subscribe to the channel to help support it and to help it grow and reach more people. Thanks for watching, and stay healthy and informed.